Magnus is playing with the black pieces, and he's 2 pawns up in this queen endgame. But let me tell you something, if you're under 1500, I think you're capable of having 3 possible results here. You could win, sometimes by chance, you could draw, but you could also lose this position. Let me first show you how you lose. You suddenly decide to exchange the queens. Your opponent just takes it, you push your pawn, and you totally forgot that he just comes with the king and stops the pawn, and now you are in trouble because this pawn is totally unstoppable and becomes a queen. Now let me show you how you draw in this kind of position. You see a pawn here ready to queen, so you try to control it by playing this move. Now suddenly he gives you this check. You move the king. Now he gives you this check, you come back. Now you decide to go to this square, trying to escape this way. And suddenly he takes your pawn. You take his pawn and he takes this one, checking your king. And this position is a theoretical draw. But Magnus found a way to win in just 2 moves here. And it's super important that you know the pattern. Start with this check. The king cannot go to this square. Bringing the queen here would lose on the spot. All you have to do is take the queen, and when the king takes the queen, this pawn is unstoppable. So the only move that white can play here is move the king. And now there is an amazing and very important trick that you must know in queen endgames, is this brilliant move. If the queen takes the pawn, now you check and you win the queen on the next move. So taking the pawn is not an option. In the game, his opponent went with this check. Magnus was ready for this kind of move, and he can just cover with his queen. Again, you cannot take the queen. All Magnus has to do is just take, and this pawn is totally unstoppable, and he's gonna queen on the next move. It could go like this. You both push, and then this pawn gets stopped by this queen, and Magnus would have won this way. You see, after playing this move, you're threatening to actually queen on the next move. So the queen cannot go to any square, because you're just gonna queen and win the game this way. If the queen takes the queen, and the king takes, now this pawn queens on the next move. And again, if his opponent takes the pawn, you have again this same check. The king moves, and you grab the queen.